Texas father, who uprooted his family to Russia to escape woke America, has reportedly been sent to the front lines to fight.
Let's get this going today.
He lived with his wife Diana, their 3 daughters, and their dog to the small town of Istra near Moscow earlier this year after claiming the U.S. had become overrun by woke ideology. He was initially promised a non-combat role in the Russian military, first as a welder, then as a war correspondent. But now his wife says it seems he's going to be sent to the front lines. Huffman says the final straw that made him want to relocate to Russia was his daughter being expected to discuss lesbian relationships in school. A Texas father who
he went to Russia to go fight. What a traitor.
Influencer has been declared the Roman Catholic Church's newest saint.
Left America.
Yesterday's canonization ceremony for Carlo Acutis. It drew a large crowd, including many of the young people that the church is trying to reach. Canonizations usually take lifetimes. Joan of Arc had
This just sounds like a publicity stunt.
years, but at just 15 years old, 19 years after he died, Carlo Acutis is now the first millennial saint. He's the first saint who wore jeans and Nikes, canonized by the first American pope. As a preteen, Carlo Acutis started building a website cataloging miracles. It went viral, spreading his reputation as God's influencer around the world. But at 15 years old, he was diagnosed with leukemia and died just 4 days later. For his mother, mourning was transformed into a mission to see Carlo Acutis, her son, become Carlo Acutis the saint. But critics argue
that's really nice, though.
Come too quickly, pointing to the family's wealth and relentless promotion of his cause. The Catholic Church says the proof is in the miracles he performed.
For young people and millennials here, they say the proof of Carlo Acutis' sainthood is in his relatability. Someone who looked like he could be walking among them here.
They got a Gen Z saint.
Like Pietro from Northern Italy.
I have to admit, the resemblance is uncanny. Assomiglia tantissimo.
Let's hope I resemble him in my deeds too, he says. And from Texas, Selby Lilly and her son Conrad wearing saintly socks.
So I'm a millennial, and it's really cool to see the first millennial saint canonized here in St. Peter's Square, where we're standing right now.
Millennial saint, okay.
A church that couldn't wait to show that holiness can look like a tea.
I don't know, I think he's Gen Z, though.
Now, it was supposed to be Pope Francis to preside
He's 15.
over the canonization, but
Yeah.
of course, he died earlier this
I guess
year.
she's reaching.
In Pope Francis's papacy, he made more saints than any other pope in history, driving a lot of the critics.
Well, it's good to start it off here with a positive one, I suppose. Well, no, I guess we started off with that traitor. But this one's nice.
The
Next.
easiest way to make $1 million is buy something that's $10 million, buy it for 8, and you sell it to somebody else for 10. There you go, you made 2. You don't have to do anything, you just buy something that's worth a lot and sell it to somebody.
Where do you get $8 million then?
Buy something that's $10 billion and they sell it for 11, they made $1 billion. That's how that kind of money is made. They're not making it, they're arbitraging value. The easiest way to make $1 million.
He's talking about used car sales, basically.
After a body was found inside a car at a Hollywood tow lot today. There's no immediate information about the identity of the person found inside, but Eyewitness News has learned the 2023 Tesla is registered in Hempstead, Texas, to multi-platinum artist and musician David Anthony Burke, known professionally as David. This is video of David performing on Jimmy Kimmel Live in 2023. The grim discovery was made after nearby residents complained about a foul odor. Police say the impounded car had been at that lot property on North Mansfield Avenue for.
Couldn't you just have it like just drive around on its own?
Inside a bag. We've reached out to David's representatives and are still waiting for a response. We begin with that breaking news. Details after a body was found inside a car at.
That's crazy.
They're convenient and available at many grocery stores, but as Consumer Reports explains, beneath that golden brown skin could be sodium, and a lot of it.
Do you think the golden, crispy rotisserie chicken under the supermarket heat lamp is a quick, delicious, and healthy dinner option? The truth might make you rethink. Behind that crunchy skin and tempting aroma lies a recipe of injected brine, sugar, additives, and processing techniques designed to extend.
I love rotisserie chickens. I hope they don't fuck them up.
6 major supermarket chains use these tricks to keep prices low and profits high. Let's dive into why supermarket rotisserie chicken might be convenient but far from healthy. Like and subscribe if this video was helpful.
They're convenient and available at many grocery stores, but as Consumer Reports explain,
You gotta be careful.
Jesus was born September 16th, 5 BC, on the Feast of Tabernacles, when God moves in with his
Well, like,
people.
we have no evidence of that.
Got baptized October 6th.
This guy's just talking with confidence.
That's the day God forgives
He might have
sins.
something to say, but I don't know.
Passover, when they killed the lambs for forgiveness. Are you seeing a pattern here? It's all Jewish feasts. But wait, there's more. Jesus didn't just die.
But wait, there's more.
He was buried during unleavened bread, came back to life on first fruits, sent the Holy Spirit 50 days later on Pentecost. That's another Jewish feast, Shavuot. Here's the mind-blowing part. Jesus' entire life story is written in the Jewish calendar thousands of years before he was even born. The spring holidays, fulfilled. Fall holidays, still coming. Here's the kicker. When the disciples asked Jesus,
Here's the kicker.
Back, he said, "In the day
This is probably some AI content.
That's actually a Hebrew idiom for the Feast of Trumpets. He wasn't saying that's not for you to know. He was saying, I'm coming back on the Feast of Trumpets. Feast of Trumpets is Resurrection Day. So in his words, not mine, his words, he's coming back Feast of Trumpets in 2030. When is that? Look it up. September 27th. I didn't say it, he did. The abomination of desolation starts on first fruits in 2027. It's all connected. God literally.
This man vanished and never found again after he proves Earth's shape is not what we have been taught. Watch this.
Take this ball here, pour a whole bunch of water on it, and watch none of the water fall off the bottom. It all sticks onto it. And while that's happening, and the water stays stuck. Not only that, you're at 1,000 miles an hour spinning this way, which also at 67,000 miles an hour, 67,000 miles an hour, while spinning 1,000, you're circling around the sun. And while that's happening, you're also chasing the sun through the Milky Way at 514,000 miles an hour. And every single night, the stars are exactly the same. Every single night.
Yeah,
every
right.
single night, the stars never change. Polaris is always exactly where it is.
This man vanished and never found again after.
Hey, does anybody else have that touch of autism where you can pick up on people's real vibe and intentions like pretty quick? And most of the time it's with people that everybody else is like, no, he's a good guy. And you're like, is he? Like, my BS-o-meter is very strong, which is probably why I only have a couple friends. It's also a tad of the Scooby-Doo-tism because we can pick up on the plot.
I think it's just being an empath.
Seconds into a movie with my wife and I'm like, that
Or pattern recognition.
Believe me. Then you get gaslit.
Or you can use a combination of both.
Person, you never give anybody a chance, so you do give somebody a chance just to prove your friends and family that you were right the whole time. They're all like, I didn't see that one coming, and you're like, really? But the fact that you can recognize patterns in people make you go, how did you not see it?
A brazen smash and grab heist caught on surveillance video. This happened at a jewelry store in San Jose, California. Video shows a car backing through the
Damn.
Moments later, more than a dozen masked robbers swarmed the store, breaking open display cases. A shirtless man, the store owner, was knocked to the ground. He suffered a stroke and was cut by broken glass. According to people who know him, he is expected to be okay. Police say no arrest.
He's just shirtless.
Help me understand why this is a good idea. This seems like a partially cracked window for extra money and additional steps. But you can't roll it.
That's pretty cool. It's for pew-pews.
Nepal just banned social media. You know the reason why they're not going to ban TikTok in the United States of America? Because they are chasing down politicians and whatnot, and they're doing this kind of stuff to them. This is them chasing them down the river. That's like the finance.
See, that's how you have a revolution. You just chase down the politicians,
TikTok, since they're not going to ban it because they don't want to
beat their ass in the river.
Outrage. I watched this dude. He had 1 million followers, and he said he got insider information on what they're actually going to do. They're just going to remove anyone that talks about anybody political, and then what they have done is they've made the app just complete brain rot. It's just a social media shopping app now, and if you try to post anything...
Why do we have school? Why are we in school? Why? Why are you here? What?
Daycare, while your parents have to go to work.
Yeah, to get the degree, okay? You get the degree, okay, to graduate. What else? Knowledge, yes. Yeah.
This is China. You got the Chinese flag. It tells you pushing your chair.
Brainwashing. Okay, guess what, guys? The correct answer is brainwashing. Everything else is a lie.
Oh, the correct answer is brainwashing.
What do you do in school?
So that teacher knows it, if he's a teacher.
Class, you listen to a lecture, you read books, right? And then you have to do a test, and you have to write a paper, and then the teacher gives you a grade. That's how you learn, right?
Keep you distracted.
Let me ask you this question then. Throughout most of human history, how did we learn? If you want to become a doctor,
You can learn more on TikTok.
The answer is experience. Do it. Right? Let me ask you this question.
Those are all facts.
You're going to be a doctor, okay? There are two paths ahead
Just
of you.
do
The
it.
first path is, you know what? I'm going to put you in a hospital, and you're going to learn there for like 10 years. Someone's going to mentor you. You're going to be that person's apprentice. Maybe the first year, all you do is like wash the floor. Okay? But you're going to observe the doctor. And then eventually the doctor's going in and tell you how to treat patients. Okay? That's the first system. Second system is you go to the best school in the world. Then you go to Harvard for undergraduate. Then you go to Harvard Medical School, the best medical school in the world. Okay? At age 30, who's a better doctor, number one or number two? Obviously the first one, right? Because the second person, the person who went to Harvard and Harvard Medical School, did not ever work in a hospital. You understand? Now, let me ask you another question.
Well, there's arguments for both sides of that.
To be a good doctor.
You can be really good at working in a hospital if you're a good nurse.
Anyone can be a doctor in the first system.
But if you're going to learn how to do like surgery, you have to have practice, like real practice.
Born the capacity to learn anything if you wanted to learn it, right? If you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a scientist, you want to be anything, okay? Just go find a mentor
Apprenticeship.
who can teach you.
They don't really have that nowadays.
Guarantee you that you will learn how
But
to
that's how you do
And
it.
anyone can do this. But instead, we have a system in which
You can use ChatGPT as the mentor.
you're stupid.
That's a good one.
Smart students go to good schools and good universities, and they get good jobs. Stupid students go wash dishes. Okay? And that was not true for most of human history. It's true today, but throughout most of human history, you had to go learn something. All you had to do was go find a teacher. And that teacher would teach you. And then you would learn it. Right? Why do you have...
A 23-year-old young woman by the name of Irina Zareska,
Oh yeah, I heard about this one. This one's not
left her job.
not a positive one.
Got on the train and sat down in her seat. To the right of her was a woman and a man.
So it
And
says it's
behind
probably
her was
racism.
an evil individual by the
It could
name
be.
of Carlos Brown. Irina sat in her seat for 4 minutes with her earpods in.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, everyone did notice. No one did anything.
Everyone else was doing on that train. The trash evil individual, the Carlos Brown, took out a pocket knife, stood up, and stabbed Irina in the neck several times. After he stabbed that young lady in the neck several times,
Yeah, it's
he
world's
got
a
up and
mess.
walked away, and nobody noticed that she got stabbed in the neck. It was after people saw
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. No one even noticed. No one like just saw that happen. They were just like
and a guy saw walk
too
back
busy
there and tried to
TikToking.
help her. But unfortunately, she died on the spot. 6 minutes.
It's kinda what we're
after the
doing,
stabbing,
but-
the train got to a stop, and the Carlos walked off the train.
I'm not on a
I
train.
understand how no one noticed this.
I didn't notice
I'm
that,
pretty sure
though.
That young woman was fighting for her life that entire time, and everyone was glued.
Imagine your kid grows up to be a rapper and starts rapping about how hard they had it. Ah, punch my kid.
Video evidence has just
And my iPod need a charge.
been lied to for the past 6 years about the Jeffrey Epstein case. So the missing one
Yeah, of course.
that apparently didn't exist was just dropped on the internet yesterday, and it wasn't just a nothing burger. It actually shows, if you look over my head, that at the 44-second mark, somebody actually walks towards Jeffrey Epstein's cell in that missing 1 minute period that apparently, again, didn't exist. Now, this video being released to the public isn't just important because at the 44-second mark, it shows someone walking towards his cell, which is still insane, and I feel like not a lot of people...
They're just giving you breadcrumbs at a time. It's just never gonna come out. This would be like Kennedy. We're still asking questions.
But it's also important because this now proves that there was a...
Our grandchildren are going to be asking questions about this case.
Attorney General Pam Bondi, her official...
It's just a matter of weeks before the unique interstellar comet...
They're going to wait till everybody on that list is already passed.
Between the orbits of Mars
and then it gets released.
The 3-Eye Atlas is actually some type of alien technology sent here from another solar system. Well, this weekend he made headlines again when he said that the object could actually be on a mission to release, quote, mini probes that could invade Earth. What are these mini probes you're talking about, and how would this even be possible?
Well, there are two possibilities. If it's a technological object, then it might maneuver itself. We haven't seen such a maneuver so far. But the other possibility is that it may release some other objects that reach the planets, and it will continue along its course to the next star. And we just need to keep our eyes on the board.
Just possibilities. There's nothing really set in stone.
Often say to the...
So you don't think anything happened crazy during the eclipse today? Well, are you sure you were paying attention? Because I captured something crazy. This is the sun. That's a lens flare. So you tell me what that is. It's not a lens flare. And I've been saying for a while that the sun we see is just a projection from the sun in the firmament. And not only did I catch it, but my friend Brandon Thomas, who has the Expanding Reality podcast, used a solar filter and not only caught one, but he caught two. And you guys might not be Bible believers, and that's okay, because I wasn't either, until I realized we didn't live on a globe. But if you look at what the Bible says, it talks about the sun being in the firmament.
Maybe I'll look more into this one here.
Layers of the firmament. So if the sun was in the firmament, maybe we are seeing the reflections in the different layers of the firmament, where usually we just see the projection. So you don't think anything...
It's pretty crazy. 9/9 eclipse.
Guys, be very careful where you're getting your rice from, because what you're seeing right here is manufactured plastic rice, and there's a lot of videos all over the internet of people getting like rubbery rice. I'm going to show you soon, but look at this.
I'm going to come back to that
what's
one.
going on right now. And people are starting to notice.
Rice, yeah, I've heard about shit like this. They do this with the meat. Everything's garbage.
Like rubber rice. Right? So we need to make sure that we're getting, again, organic food. There's a way to check if your rice is, you know, plastic or if it's natural. And I'm going to show you right now. Just throw a little bit in a hot cast iron pan, and if it starts popping up, then you know it's real. If it starts melting, then you know it is plastic. And you're going to see in this video the rice, you know, it starts popping up and changing colors. That is what it should do. It's natural. See how it's popping up? See how they're all popping? And start changing a little bit more brown because they're burning. This is natural rice. But if it starts melting in the pan, you don't want to eat it. So be...
I can tell you, you'll see those files.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that every time I cook rice, though.
There was an incident in October of 1982 over an ICBM base where UFOs popped up, was observed over this base where the missiles are pointed at us, United States. These UFOs perform incredible maneuvers. They split apart, they fuse back together, they'd appear and disappear, and right at the end of this 4-hour period, the launch control codes for the ICBMs lit up. The missiles were...
Aliens stole the files.
Could not shut it down. The Russian officers were panicking. The UFOs they disappeared. The launch control system goes back to normal. Colonel Sokolov and his team came in, took the thing apart, could not figure out what it was. It wasn't a power surge or EMPs or some of the baloney excuses that our country has given for similar events involving our nuclear missiles. They thought it was a message from wherever the UFOs were from. And that's a chilling thing. I mean, we were a couple of seconds away from World War III starting, and the UFOs were responsible for it. And I can tell you, you'll see those files that I shared with you. They did find stuff. There was an incident in...
How much XRP do we need? I don't know.
And neither does anyone else, I promise you. Let me show you something. Putin advisor, the U.S. has devised a crypto scheme to erase its massive debt at the world's expense. I have always said that XRP, in my opinion, is not designed for the fiat banking system. But let's pretend they do forgive the debt, and then we see 100% purchasing power. And you got to think about like in 1963 when the dollar was extremely strong. The value of a home. Look at the prices of homes in 1963. Look at the prices of cars in 1963. So do you need a $10,000 XRP? I just know it's valuable, and I buy and hold.
I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy.
Here's proof that the Associated Press is on some bullshit. On the left, we have a black United States citizen. On the right, we have an immigrant from Ukraine who fled her country for safety and came to America. On the left, we have a career-long criminal. And on the right, we have an innocent victim. On the left, we have a man who died while under the influence of drugs while actively resisting arrest. And on the right, we have a woman who died for being stabbed multiple times for no reason at all. When the person on the left died, chaos erupted in America as they started a new movement called Black Lives Matter. But when the person on the right died, they started a GoFundMe account for the black man that stabbed her to death. Meanwhile, here in America, we have first graders who are being punished at school for writing All Lives Matter on their journal during a Black Lives Matter curriculum. And if that's not bad enough, just take a look at the search results.
Did they really make a GoFundMe account for that guy? That's crazy.
Who died while being arrested. 74,000 results.
Doesn't make sense, but whatever.
Ukraine to stay safe from the war, loses her life on public transportation, and they have nothing to say about it. This is the type of hypocrisy that I point out almost every single day right here on this channel.
Look at it. That glowing eye, the true portal, an apparition engineered into existence by human hands. She's there, yet not there.
They had FaceTime back then. Maybe.
Her body isn't anywhere around. It dissolves into nothingness, into invisible vibrations you can't see, can't touch, can't taste. Vibrations that don't stop at walls, that don't care about the curved surface of a spinning ball. Early cameras and transmitters scanned reality line by line, shaving it down into slices, converting the physical into frequency, brightness modulated into a wave, a code surfing the odic force, your essence broadcast as a pattern, and on the other end that pattern reassembles, regenerates, resurrects the person in front of you inside a goddamn crystal ball. Now tell me, does that sound like Big Bang Spaceballs nothingness to you? If this level of technology could...
That's probably where the crystal ball came from. It was just picking up internet.
Continents with absolutely zero so-called curvature interference, and 30 years before satellites in the 1920s, then what in the fuck do you think the real state of technology actually is now? Look.
Where do human souls go after we pass away? Heaven? Hell? Not according to Enoch. And if we put the giants aside for a second, this is probably the reason they left this book.
There's a psilocybin mushroom on her coffee cup.
Inside the earth. Some of them contain
So she probably does shrooms.
Some of them, though, are tormented or restless, but they're all stuck there waiting for Judgment Day. It's like a waiting room for the dead. Hear me out. Remember that scene from Beetlejuice?
The hurt doesn't show, but the pain still grows. Some strangers to you and me.
I want to cue up a video that I've been given. And before it starts, I'm going to describe. This was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. That you cannot see that drone, and so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does. This is when it zoomed out, so you can still see it traveling. So, Mr. Knapp, do you have you heard about, events like this occurring? And what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally some of that stuff gets out in the wild and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that? What?
So, again, I want to cue up a video that I've been given.
The video of Irina Zarutska's murder is out, and it should be national news, but it's not, and you know exactly why.
It's all over social media,
nothing.
though.
New York
we hear
Times,
about it
nothing.
all the time
NBC,
here.
CBS, Mississippi, NBC,
That's
not
the
a
new
single
national
mention.
news.
I deliberately balanced a pencil on the edge of a trash can. Right on cue, a taxi drove by, splashing water that knocked the pencil over. This caught the attention of an old man sipping his coffee. He got up to pick it up. A cyclist who couldn't brake in time slammed into the old man and crashed into a fruit stand. A homeless guy immediately rushed forward to grab the scattered fruit, and the vendor started fighting with him over it. All this chaos successfully caught the attention of a bus driver. Distracted, he ran a red light, and an innocent woman crossing the street lost her life on the spot, all because of this event I'd carefully orchestrated from countless coincidences. I never get my hands dirty. More like a chess player, precisely calculating and utilizing every seemingly unrelated element in the environment, pedestrians, vehicles, traffic signals, linking them together to create a perfect act.
It's
pretty
interesting, but like,
I knew a sharp female detective
so many chances of things going wrong.
She'd found an identical one in another accident a few days earlier. Just as she started getting suspicious, I orchestrated another traffic accident. When she arrived at the scene, she found something different this time. The accident had happened, but no one had died yet. That's when the familiar pencil I planted rolled out from under a car. I saw it dawn on her immediately. This wasn't the end.
It's not over.
It was just beginning. I was nearby, and my real target hadn't appeared yet. She scanned the area and finally locked eyes with me on the overpass. Following my gaze, she spotted the person who was about to become my next victim. She immediately started running toward me on the.
But how do you know it's him? It's just a guy standing there. It's like, that's the guy.
Bicycle off the overpass and waited quietly for her to approach. Just as she was about to arrest me, I timed it perfectly and jumped off the overpass without hesitation. They rushed to the edge, staring down at me in confusion. That bicycle I'd thrown down, it was just to redirect the truck's path below, creating an absolutely safe landing spot for myself. And just like that, under everyone's watch, I successfully escaped the scene once again. I deliberately.
What if she shot you?
It says here that you're white. How about a job and a pension? It says here you're an alcoholic. Hey, you'll fit right in. Welcome aboard. Sorry, you need a high school diploma to work here. Sorry, you need a college degree to work here. Sorry, you need a master's degree to work here. It says here you're white. Oh, we have too many of those. Next. You're an AI bot? Perfect. We're looking to fire our entire team and replace them with you. You're a human. Greg, I found our diversity hire. You have a technical skill? We'll give you anything you want. Please, we need you. Hurry! You know where to find water? You're officially conscripted into the Water Seekers Allegiance. Here's your siphoning tube. Zoltan!
See, that's my prediction. 2050.
It says here you're an.
Wait, you're saying some people start life already winning?
No, I'm saying they don't play your game. You were born into a state, into a system, into debt. They were born with 5 passports and a $10 million trust. You got rules. They got assets.
Okay, but like, we all got 24 hours, right?
Oh, that's cute. Economic wombling. You got 24 hours.
That'd be nice.
24 hours plus
have a $10 million trust just to do what you want with.
You mess up, you lose years. They mess up, they test again. A 17-year-old from their family has a failed business and a mentor. A 17-year-old from yours has loans and a part-time job. That's not a gap. That's a prison wall.
But if I work hard, grind, start a business...
Then you're just a richer piece on their board. Unless you're born behind the curtain, you're still on stage. Wealth is just upgraded confinement. Even your freedom is scripted, my nugget brain.
They let you win if your win feeds the system.
They sell you the dream, but the ticket was never printed for you. You're not in line. You're in the bleachers, snack tier patriot.
But I thought waking up was enough.
You woke up, but you're still in their house. Still using their money. Still thinking in their numbers. Still calling your prison a nation.
So basically, I'm not poor. I'm just mid-tier livestock. Do I get an upgrade if I moo in 2 languages, or is that premium cattle tier?
And every hour you trade for survival is another hour they trade for control.
Wait, you're saying some people start...
Ever notice how heaven and hell are basically a real estate scam? It's the greatest housing hustle ever invented. You don't get a tour, you don't get blueprints, you don't get photos on Zillow Hell, you don't even get a brochure with an artist's rendering of the pearly gates. No, you just get some guy in a robe pointing at the sky saying, "Trust me, it's beautiful up there, pal.
Trust me, bro.
Neighborhood in the universe, streets of gold, mansions for everybody." That's not theology. That's a sales pitch. God's not a father. He's a real estate agent with a clipboard. Think about it. Every religion is basically selling you property you can't inspect until after you die. It's the original blind trust. Forget escrow, forget inspections, forget a closing date. You just fork over your time, money, and obedience, and they promise you beachfront property in the sky. It's like some guy saying, "Hey, I got a condo for you in Hawaii." You can't see it, can't visit it, can't even look at photos. But don't worry, once you're dead, you'll be living it up. Tiki torches, margaritas, the whole deal, and people go, "Wow, that sounds great. Where do I sign?" Humanity is signing contracts with an invisible landlord. No deed, no keys, no proof, just faith, and they call this wisdom. And you know it's a scam because heaven is always described like the world's tackiest gated community. Gold streets, jewel-encrusted gates, mansions for everyone. Who designed this place? Liberace? They say God is infinite and creative, but his idea of paradise is basically Las Vegas without the strippers. Streets of gold? What are you going to do with that? You can't even spend it. You're walking around like, "Wow, look, shiny pavement. Yeah, great. Now, where's the liquor store?" And a mansion? What do you need a mansion for when you don't even have a body anymore? You're a soul floating around. You don't need a guest room. What are you doing, hosting ghost parties? And then there's hell, the ultimate fixer-upper. No air conditioning, lots of screaming, eternal fire. Sounds like summer in Arizona, but notice how they sell it. Heaven is never just described as nice, it's always described as the opposite of hell. They need the bad neighborhood to make the good one look better. That's sales 101. Scare them with the worst option so the upgrade looks like a bargain. You don't want to spend eternity in the fiery slums, do you?
That's sales 101.
Plan. Heaven's gated community, no crime.
Must be AI.
Beautiful landscaping, and the rent's already paid by Jesus. That's not divine justice. That's a timeshare presentation. And hell, let's be honest, it makes no...
I'm going to say like basically every single un-PC thing you can say all at once. Even if you disagree with something that I say, I at least want you to pause and go, huh, why are those the things you're not allowed to say? Have you ever noticed that virtually every major issue in the culture war in America is aimed at the destruction of or the malformation of children? So for instance, all the conversation around same-sex marriage and polyamory, its goal is to redefine the marriage, the family unit that raises children. While the Bible does not teach that a woman's place is the home, it does teach that a wife and a mother's priority is the home.
That's why the boogeyman wants to get your kid.
Its goal is to get women out of the home and away from aspiring to and prioritizing the mothering of children. At the same time, like this whole secular Andrew
pretty accurate though.
Thing, its goal is to use masculine power for hookup, shack up, breakup culture and avoid ever having children. The whole conversation about abortion is kill the children. Guys, this is not a coincidence. Kill the children. You will see that theme throughout scriptures from Satan. For instance, in Genesis 2, the last thing we've said that God does is he creates the first family. The first thing that happens in Genesis 3 is Satan shows up. Big idea. You start a family, Satan starts a fight. Because what God is after, according to the Old Testament prophets, is he's after godly offspring. So Satan attacks the thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Godly offspring. He attacks Christian marriages and Christian families so that he can indirectly destroy
Or just like families.
So cannot get passed down from generation to generation to generation.
Did you all hear what's going on with movie theaters? Attendance is down nearly 10% in early 2025. And get this, box office revenue for quarter one.
Yeah, he's watching at home or pirate it.
96. I mean, heck, when was the last time you went to the movies? What movie did you see and how much did you pay? I mean, even the discounts.
Superman.
Like Cinema World have filed for bankruptcy just to stay afloat. Regal,
About $100.
have closed dozens of locations across the United States. Meanwhile, streaming services are getting better. Exclusive theatrical windows are shrinking from.
That's why we can't go to the movies. You try to go to the movie, get a good seat, get some popcorn and a drink. See how much it really costs. Yeah, see right here, the guy put $160 to take his family to see Jurassic Rebirth. This person said $100 too. They're gonna see a movie and get some popcorn. Yep. This person got lucky. $50 for 2 tickets. Oh, plus another $20 for popcorn. Yeah, sounds about right.
Shut up! Why would I give a damn what shape the motherfucking earth is? Why would I give a fuck about some shit like that? I will have no choice but to still live here and pay bitch ass bills. Shut up.
America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before. I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success.
What if we're living in a video game? Some philosophers and scientists believe reality could actually be a simulation. The argument is simple. If technology keeps advancing, eventually civilizations can create simulations that look exactly like reality. If that's possible,
yeah, we discussed that
we're
one.
already inside one.
This is what it's like living paycheck to paycheck. I have less road and more train. What's that look like?
A super rare substance known as red mercury is repelled by garlic, attracted to gold. And guess what happens if you hold it up to a mirror? Yeah, the reflection doesn't show up. It almost sounds like a vampire. Weird.
It's vampire's blood.
Trying to look up information on red mercury, it's almost impossible to find. There's rumors that the technology was in old televisions and some military technology back in the day.
Red mercury.
My grandfather even said that they used to put red mercury in thermometers. Maybe he was crazy. But here's the thing about mercury. If you apply electricity and magnetism to it, it spins and creates a toroidal field.
Does it even exist?
In the lighthouses in the old days, instead of having to constantly crank the light to have it spinning 24/7, they actually suspended it on liquid mercury and it would just rotate 24/7. So that technology does exist. So back to red mercury, this mythical substance. Well, here's the thing about mercury. It amalgamates with other metals. And that's what all of these weird hybrid animals are on all of these statues, on all of these old buildings. It's representing the amalgamation of, let's say, mercury with gold, with iron. And apparently if you mix mercury with iron oxide, it creates red mercury. Entertainment purposes only, I made it.
In the moonlight, my honey I know.
Oh shit, it's the Matrix. That's how you find the Matrix right there. Let's see what else we can find here.
But customers had no idea if they were actually getting all of the fuel they paid for.
And so, a few years later, the visible fuel pump was invented. The attendant would first pump the fuel into a glass tank on top of the pump, measuring it to an exact amount. Then, by opening a valve, gravity would drain all of the fuel into the customer's car. These small curbside gas pumps worked well in the early days, when in 1900 there were only 8,000 cars in the whole US. But just 12 years later, that number increased to 1.2 million, and suddenly,
pump your own gas.
Traffic jams started building up around every pump, and the small 50-gallon tanks couldn't cope with the demand. Worst of all, having all of the fuel stored above ground meant that things could go catastrophically wrong. And so, in 1913, the Gulf Oil Company opened up the first dedicated fueling station in Pittsburgh. Instead of a single pump, they placed a much larger storage tank underground and connected it to 6 pumps, allowing multiple cars to fill up at the same time. On its first day, it sold just 30 gallons of kerosene, but the word quickly spread, and by the end of the week, it was already selling 350 gallons per day for around 27 cents per gallon.
Yeah, where else are you gonna go? Everyone wants to go there.
The country, and the car became the ultimate key to freedom. But by the 1920s, most cars had switched from kerosene to gasoline, since it burned more easily and was more efficient. But this caused a new problem: vapor. Kerosene had a flash point of 38 degrees, meaning that it wouldn't emit flammable vapor until it reached that temperature. But for gasoline, the flash point was negative 40 degrees, and so it was constantly emitting flammable vapor into the air. This vapor would build up inside the tanks and pollute the air whenever someone filled up their car. All it took was one small spark, and the customer would quickly become history. But customers had no idea if they were actually getting all of
it. So it is now.
Franchise, and it only
Don't
has
smoke at the pump.
$50,000 initial fee. That's cool. I'm thinking about buying a franchise too. Which one? I've been looking at Wingstop. They have a significantly lower upfront cost, and you only need $25,000 for the initial fee. Wingstop, bro. Even the low investment,
bro,
that this isn't a good franchise, and Popeyes has better wings anyway. I guess we'll find out.
No, Wingstop's got better wings than Popeyes.
Hey,
100%.
yes. How's your restaurant doing? Great. We made $190,000 last year and on track to make even more this year. What about you? Well, we made over $240,000 last year. What? How? Well, since 65% of our sales comes from digital and delivery, we enjoy high turnover with less dine-in space and infrastructure. A Wingstop restaurant is just easier to manage because of the fewer moving parts. Who taught you this? Carl. He has over 30 years of diverse...
I secretly took out my life savings, then go to a big city and pretend to be rich. I am going to spend all my money at once, so I ordered every single dish on the menu out of respect and love for food. I never asked for any changes. Unlike the wealthy table nearby, they were picky about every detail, forcing the kitchen to follow their rules. Their demands left the chef frustrated.
Oh là 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 là! No butter, no cream, no wheat! No dairy, no fat! Eh, merde! Why do they bother to eat? Next time, stick this in my neck!
But when he saw I's order, his anger disappeared, replaced by joy and respect. He felt like he found a soulmate and decided to cook for me. The tycoon thought the chef came for him and smiled with pride. But the chef only nodded politely, then sat next to I. That scene left the tycoon embarrassed. They started guessing I's real identity after all. A chef like that could not be moved by money. What they didn't know, I was just an ordinary woman, a food lover, diagnosed with cancer days ago, with only 3...
A man's
lame
construction and laying bricks. He never expected to discover a huge business opportunity, so he asked a fellow worker nearby, "Where do these bricks come from? How much does each one cost?" After learning the price of the floor tiles, a bold idea slowly formed in his mind. That evening when he returned home, the man didn't even bother eating dinner. He started doing a small experiment. Exactly how many floor tiles could be made from 1 bag of cement plus 1 bag of sand? His wife asked why he was calculating this. The man discovered these bricks were all imported by the city government from other provinces. If he made the bricks himself, he could make them much cheaper than they did. If he could produce them and sell to the city government, he could get rich overnight. Early the next morning, the man took 2 floor tiles, ran to the deputy county magistrate's office, asked him to see which one had better quality. The deputy county magistrate said this one was a bit better. The man was thrilled, because the floor tile in the deputy county magistrate's hand was exactly the one he had rushed to make overnight. So the man quickly explained to the deputy county magistrate, this tile was made by himself. He planned to stop doing anything else, just make floor tiles, then sell them to the municipal company, and his bricks were also cheaper. After hearing this, the deputy county magistrate was immediately interested. So he asked if the man could guarantee every tile would be this quality. The man patted his chest and promised. Seeing the man's confident appearance, the deputy county magistrate agreed to help him contact the relevant departments. Soon, the cement bricks produced by the man were officially put into use. Good quality at low prices. Guaranteed quality. The construction company immediately ordered 100,000 pieces, but required delivery within 5 days.
Good luck.
Put the man in a difficult position. His whole family worked from dawn to dusk every day, could only produce 2,000 pieces total per day. But the construction company said if the task could be completed within 5 days, they would also sign a long-term supply contract with him for this rare...
Yeah, he called hiring employees.
He went back and gathered all his relatives and friends, worked overtime through the night, making bricks. But their production capacity was still far behind. The municipal order wasn't even finished. Companies from other regions were also competing to sign contracts with him. Looking at his exhausted relatives and friends, the man couldn't help but feel scared. If they continued like this, someone might literally work themselves to death. Manual production had too low capacity, so the man decided to introduce professional equipment, mass production. But the deputy county magistrate worried that machine-made bricks couldn't guarantee the quality of handmade ones. After learning of the deputy county magistrate's concerns, the man immediately patted his chest and promised. After his own modifications to the equipment, the bricks produced would absolutely maintain the original quality level. Unfortunately, the equipment was too expensive. He couldn't afford it. Seeing the man so confident, the deputy county magistrate immediately proposed. Not only would he help raise a loan, he would also help select a site and build a factory, invest in larger scale production. The only requirement was that brick production couldn't stop. With the deputy county magistrate's support, the man's brick factory grew bigger and bigger. Finally, even
And
I actually know a
it
shortcut
worked
if you
out.
guys want to take it. This way saves you 5 minutes easily. There's Donkey Kong! There's Donkey Kong! Woo! Oh man, I hate that.
Alright, you see these bunch of yahoos right here? Alright, let's take a look at this building. Okay, see the little poles? Just look at the quality. See the poles holding it up? Okay, you wouldn't bat an eye. This was built, we can say this picture was in the 1800s, 1900s. Okay, take a look at these guys. Alright, first of all, let's talk about this building in the back that's got look like a brass top, like it's just, you know, right here. But it looked like it's done been buried partially. But we ain't gonna get into that because it can be looking over a hill. But we ain't here for conspiracy theories. We here for common sense and construction because that's what I know. So let's talk about what matters. You see these workers right here? Well, not workers, but these guys, if you look at these old 1800 pictures, you get them either one or two ways. They either look like this or they got on top hats and dresses and suits, all right? Either way. All right, so you see these cats, all right? Now, this is around the same time frame. Who built these buildings? Like I said, you can see the people. You know,
those buildings have been here for a long time.
Walking around. So I don't show y'all two classes of people. We're gonna say the poor class and the high class. Who built these buildings?
Aliens, right?
Those arches are compared to these people. These buildings are city blocks. Okay, like these buildings are massive. Who built them? Who built this building? What crane was able to get up and lift this?
How about crane? Yeah.
Stones up.
None.
Or whatever it's built out of. Who built it? Well, let's take a look at this building. Okay, another building from the World Fair that they tore down. Just look at these statues. Just look. Like I say, you got the people, wealthy people. You know, top hats, suits, dresses. But just
What's crazy is they tore it all down. They got rid of it, tried to hide it.
I'm telling you, man. Just look at the structure. Better yet, look at this.
They've destroyed so many of the buildings.
Detail.
In every World War.
Here, behind this. Just look. I mean, whole city. Okay, and what I just found out, everything was electrical. It was free lights. These cities was lights. Okay, free energy. These buildings. Just look at this. Look at this city. And you got the people once again look like they just walked up and discovered the place. Right? Okay.
I've probably done the same thing though. You're just like, traveling east on your horse and buggy, and you come across this, I'm like, yep, that's my house. I live here now, and if anyone asks, I built it. I built it with my friends.
One bedroom apartments, each car, and it was like 100 of these, and it took 10 minutes to make a rotation. But look at this building.
Like, wow, you have a nice house. Yep, I do have a nice house. I built it.
Somebody, like I said, just walking, minding business. Never see no cranes, never see no bulldozers, which you ain't, because this was in the horse and carriages days. And this is in Washington, D.C. It was built from 19...
Yeah, they're all over the place. The bizarre guy, he talks about the aliens. He has contacted them. He's been doing that forever. It was 1987.
The killer.
The Gambler. You walk into the casino, nerves buzzing, palms slightly sweaty, and the odds fully stacked against you. You hear the siren call of your favorite game, roulette. You make your way to the table, you slap your $100 down and pick
roulette, good luck.
The wheel spins, the ball clacks, everyone watches, and boom, black. You're at $200. Most people would pocket the win. Most people would walk. But you're not most people. You double down. Black again, $200 becomes $400. Your hands are shaking now. Not from fear, but from something worse.
You definitely gotta go with that.
Feel it. The table's hot. You repeat the process again and again. $400 to $800. $800 to $1,600. Before you know it, you've got people gathering around, watching this lunatic casually pressing his entire stack onto black every single time. The crowd's growing, murmuring with each spin. You're not just gambling now, you're putting on a show. $100 turns into over $800,000. You've done it. You've beaten the house in a way that shouldn't even be statistically possible. 13 blacks in a row. The table is silent now. The dealer looks at you like you've summoned dark forces. You're sweating through your shirt. The pit boss is suddenly way too interested in your next, and still, you can't stop. You can't walk away.
They can see it as rigged anyways. That'll never happen. Either you're gonna play it through a machine, or you're gonna play it through a rigged some kind of contraption. If you have the money, you go play, spin the actual wheel. It's some kind of magnets or some bullshit, probably. I don't know. A weighted ball.
Is spinning. You've somehow bent probability to your will, and this time you leave. You take your chips, your luck, your shaky hands, and you cash out.
Yeah, I used to do it in GD all the time. Yeah.
Walk out of the casino a millionaire. The Gambler. You walk into the casino.
Frank and Clark. So here I have a three-dimensional cube. Now, if I had a single projection, I might actually confuse that, for example, of just being a square, which is two-dimensional.
Look up that,
however, by rotating the object and looking from different angles, different projections, you can tell that what you have is a three-dimensional object. By putting together the information, you can deduce what's there.
Just as a two-dimensional shadow can help us learn the true shape of a three-dimensional cube, we can explore a four-dimensional cube, a hypercube, by looking at its three-dimensional shadows.
Or we can look at different projections of a hypercube. What we would see are things that from one angle it might look like a cube, from other angles it might look like a cube inside a cube. It might look like it's turning itself inside out because we're not really in the fourth dimension. So it does things that we're not familiar with because it has this whole other dimension of space that it can play with. So here I have a three-dimensional cube.
Trump, do not send the National Guard to Chicago, gang. Do not, I repeat, do not do it. We are a different fucking breed out here, nigga. We are not Los Angeles. Nigga, we are not Washington, D.C. Nigga, this is Chicago, nigga. Them niggas go fight back. I'm telling you, them niggas go fight back, gang. Whatever.
Yeah, that's not smart. I don't know who these YNs think they are, but you're not fighting the U.S. military. What? And these threats ain't
turn it into GTA.
Put the National Guard in your city. If anything, it's gonna make him want to put the National Guard in your city even more.
I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Them young niggas got switches, gang. They not going for.
Yeah, them switches ain't tanks. Them switches ain't what
They
military.
That shit, bro.
They have some knives.
It's the National Guard. They can't do anything about it.
Yeah, some bazookas.
Nigga, do y'all know that it's more bad people than good people, bro?
What do you? What?
Huh?
Hey,
Let me scratch my head on that one. What'd you say?
That.
Next.
No, this one.
Yeah, you're ring.
That
Stupid.
want to save humanity. Number 4, the Carians. They were once worshipped as gods in Egypt, Mesopotamia, and India. Beings with the body of a man and the head of a bird. But the truth behind the Carians is far more ancient and terrifying. These humanoid avians are not spiritual myths. They are real. Survivors of a galactic war.
Blue
They
avians.
escaped to Earth thousands of years ago. They hide in the shadows of temples, under the sands, and deep inside mountains.
I don't know. If they knew what we did to chickens.
Taught humanity the balance between light and dark, but their message was lost. Now they return in silence, observing us, judging if we're worth saving.
Oh yeah, that was a sad one. That was her ass. And everyone on the subway just kind of stood around. They didn't. No one even went to go help. There she is.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities and set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people. Really, very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists. And they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture
Oh yeah, actually, I'm talking about that.
beautiful young girl that never had problems in life. With a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests.
So public executions. I don't think a lot of people would be opposed to it. Like, we just do it publicly a little bit. Like, every once in a while we do it publicly. Just to be like, you know.
50 people were murdered in Chicago in recent weeks, with hundreds being shot. And it's time to stop this madness. The people of our country need to insist on protection, safety, law, and order. We have proven that it can be done because we did it right here in D.C., in District of Columbia, the capital of America, was a bloodthirsty, horrible, dangerous place, one of the worst. And now it's a crime-free city, and we're going to keep it that way. It can be done, it can happen fast. All we want is, please, Mr. President, we need help. Chicago needs help. Other cities need help. We'll do what has to be done because we're going to make America safe again. And that includes our big cities. We're going to make big cities safe. Thank you.
Each of these cars is controlled by an AI, which I trained to drive in a...
There are 7 legit websites.
Sir, excuse me. The most
profitable remote jobs are often the most boring ones. And you might not want to hear it, but it is true. And many of these jobs are pretty much
probably most boring.
Most people don't even know they exist. So let me show you 9 remote jobs that might put you to sleep, but will definitely wake up your bank account. And the best part, these positions literally can't hire people fast enough. So let's dive in before someone else takes your spot. First on the list is going to be a funeral sales specialist. And listen, I know what you're thinking. It sounds boring and also pretty morbid. But the truth is, somebody's got to do it. And
Yeah, it sounds like both those.
Why? Because, well, people are always going to be dying, right? Just like they say, death and taxes are the only 2 things that you'll never be able to avoid. And in terms of what you'll be doing on a day-to-day basis in this job, you'll be selling funeral packages and services remotely. And a quick explanation of this job is you'll basically be selling funeral packages and services remotely. And typically, you will be selling these products and services to a funeral home. But you also might be helping families pre-plan arrangements and manage costs. And the best thing is you can do all of it from the comfort of your home. And you can think of it like being a wedding planner, but okay, no, it's not like being a wedding planner. It's a totally different type of ceremony. Now, base pay here starts at $54,000 and commissions put it up to $86,000 a year annually. And typically, there's not a lot of people who want to be in this position for obvious reasons. It's just a very uncomfortable industry in general to be in, although it is a very important industry. And so there's not a lot of competition to get into these jobs, and in many cases, you don't need a college degree or previous experience. You just need to be willing to work in the industry. And you can make pretty good money right off the bat. Now, I found this fascinating Reddit post from a funeral sales specialist.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
$120,000 in their first year just by being compassionate and not pushy with families. So those numbers that I gave earlier of 50 to 80,000, sometimes you can make a lot more even in your first year. Now, some of the skills needed for this are going to be empathy, lots of it. You also have to have really tough skin. You're going to need to be relatively good at sales, but actually it's not a very pushy type of sales. You know, you're not some kind of sketchy used car salesman, and you also need to have strong communication skills. So the pros of this one are there is high commission potential, it's a stable industry, and you're going to be in a growing field with aging population. The cons are it's emotionally challenging, and it can be mentally draining, and it requires...
Let's just get to the best one. This was fun.
Basic HTML and CSS. Comment below with which of these jobs interest you the most. I read every comment, and I might make a detailed video about the most requested ones. Next is going to be a WordPress support technician. And if you ever wondered who fixes websites when they break it,
I don't fucking know.
People fix their WordPress websites, troubleshoot plugin issues and themes, and basically be like a website doctor. And you can think of it being like an IT superhero saving small businesses.
It's all gonna be taken by AI though.
This scammy tenant bragged about paying her rent just before coming to court, but when the judge closely inspected the documents, he uncovered a massive fraud that she committed in front of the whole court.
And where are we on Miss Davis's case?
Your Honor, I have rent to retain for a total of $5,134.16. Your Honor, at this time, we would be requesting entry of a judgment as this is the second hearing.
Yes.
I paid $44.30 today before I came here.
You paid $44.30?
Yep.
For that
90
$400?
Yes, sir.
And what?
90 cents.
Were you going to leave that off or what? No, 90 cents. So, do you have any record of that?
Your Honor, I do not have,
Probably not. I just did it before I came up here, literally.
No, she just did it.
I did talk with my client. They did only receive 3 money orders. That totals $2,897.34.
Hold on. Let me see those for a second.
I copied it onto someone else's and they ran out of color.
Say what?
I gave her all 4 of those, 5 today.
5?
Yeah.
Why are these in color? Those are black and white.
She ran out of color.
No, this says, hang on one quick second. These are from 24.
Which one?
The ones that are in color. Miss Manson, I don't know how far you can go back in her account, but October of 24, it looks like these are
she's trying to put some old paperwork in there.
I just bought them today.
Because the other ones, their dates.
She couldn't change the date.
3 from Kroger, but these 2 are from 2024.
Your Honor, I do have 2 money orders from October 5th of 2024. One was for $1,000 and the other one was for $533.56.
These were paid last year, Mrs. Davis.
Why did she get?
What?
She gave me.
Pardon?
I have it inside of my car by Thursday.
Justin was a blind teenager who had always dreamed of being able to see. One night, his best friend Connor called, saying he found something on the
Why would he call on FaceTime? He's blind.
Encrypted links, voice recordings, anonymous testimonials. Blind people were claiming a mysterious man made them see. Connor messaged him. He
Mr.
replied
Beast.
instantly with coordinates and one rule. The blind person had to approach him alone. That night, Connor drove Justin to a crumbling overpass on the city's edge at 2 a.m. He waited in the car as Justin approached him. He was tall and silent. He handed Justin a vial, a sample. Justin drank it. Suddenly, light, color, his hands, everything. He turned and saw his best friend for the first time with tears in his eyes. But then the darkness returned, and the man was gone. They came back the next night, and the man offered a 12-hour vial. But in return, he required a drop of blood. Justin was hesitant, but 12 hours would be life-changing. So he did it. Then came the pattern. Night after night, a new vial, a new...
Just drugs.
Born in the house. You feel me? My children are homeschooled. Okay?
You don't take them to the hospital or none of that?
Nah, but I'm not extreme. So if it was necessary, I would, but it hasn't been necessary. You know, one of the things, I mean, we gotta look at the hospital, just to detour a little bit. They'll have would you lay down to defecate? Like, if you had to use the bathroom and you get closer and closer to your house and you're like, man, it's starting to really come out. Would you then go to the toilet and lay down to try to make it come out? No, you wouldn't. You would squat. That's kind of like what we're doing when we're on the toilet. But now here's a woman that's supposed to give birth to a child in the medical institution with all these people